Hi, I'm Scott Richards from Beyond the Numbers, and today we're going to talk about goals. And so today, in the last 20, 30 years, everyone talks about goals. We've got big, hairy, audacious goals. We've got smart goals. We've got stretch goals. But what are the right goals for your company? In Jim Collins, I should say, he came out with the term big, hairy, or audacious goals. So having that big objective that everyone works for, and when it's accomplished, everyone's excited. Does that work for everyone in your organisation? So I'm going to use the example of Russian dolls. So we have the large Russian doll, and then inside of them we have a smaller doll. So for some people, they need that big, hairy, audacious goal, that thing that they look at, those visionary people. But there are many people in an organisation that is terrifying for them. They can't see how it's going to be achieved, and they need stretch goals. So while two streams of thought, we believe that you need both, because you've got all sorts of different people in your organisation, and you need to have them all on heading towards the same page, the same way. So the people who are the visionaries, they start with the big, hairy, audacious goals. Where the people who find that overwhelming, they start with stretch goals, and they're working towards exactly the same outcome, but they're coming from different angles. And so stretch goals are very important because they're smaller, and you get quicker wins, you get that gratification quicker, and it's the way that the majority of us think. So what is the power of stretch goals heading towards that big, hairy, audacious goal? So I just want to talk about three things that are the power of stretch goals and why you should be using them in your business, as well as having that strategic planning and having those big priorities. So number one is it breaks it into manageable parts. So it's easier for people to see that next step where they need to go. So I think it was James Clear who said, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. And so having stretch goals is all about creating new habits. And it's because your organisation is really just the example, or just the outward of the summary of all of your habits coming together. So it's all about starting new habits in your organisation, and stretch goals is is easier to start a new habit with a stretch goal, because you're starting with small habits and you're being consistent. Secondly is the stretch goal, the power of compounding. So if you start off with just a 1% gain, it might not seem like much, but for a lot of people, that 1% is going to be easier to achieve, and it's the power of the compounding. So if you increase by 1% one day, increase by 1% the next day. Let's say if you did it 1% each day, after 72 days, you're going to be 100% better off because of compounding. It's not taking you 100 days to get there, it's going to be 72 days. Or let's say if it's 1% a week, it's going to be 72 weeks. So in just under a year and a half, you're going to be 100% better off than where you were. The third thing I want to talk about is working outside of your comfort zone. And there's so much, you don't want to work where it's too hard, which is why a lot of people get terrified by the big, hairy, audacious goal. You want to work just outside your comfort zone. And so in the book called Flow, he talks about the best percentage to be working outside of your comfort zone is 4%. So if this is where you're flowing and you're going up, and let's say this is where you normally are, when you start, you want to, your first part of your goal, you want to be 4% greater than where you are. So that might be just adding one little task or one little thing that's going to increase your productivity by 4%. And so then you go up another 4%, then you go up another 4%. I should be drawing within the lines. But it's that starting that habit that's just outside your comfort zone, starting something new. And one of the things, especially for leaders, is working across different parts of your business, so you're getting a greater understanding for your business, especially if you want to head towards that, to the C-suite area. You need to understand all the different parts of your business, and some of that will require you getting outside of your comfort zone. But you don't want to go too far in the deep end, but you don't want to stay where it's too easy, and you want to be just outside of your comfort zone. So that just sums up. We're not big, hairy, audacious goal versus stretch goals. We are big, hairy, audacious goals and stretch goals. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.